folks, I just want to respond to this because, as the countdown gets closer to the election, I really just find it obscene and absurd that really all of this boils down to this whole trans issue. I mean, that is kind of the issue that got people motivated. They scream about the border and they crow about the economy, but really the thing that got these people off their lazy boys and into the political arena was the whole trans issue. And boy, haven't they had a good time laying on the trans people. Less than 1% of the population. I don't believe that they've ever really had an interaction or any meaningful exposure to a trans person. I don't believe it. And yet here they are, setting up their entire argument about everything that is immoral about Democrats around trans people. And trans people running off and getting operations, and kids in particular running out and getting operations. Their dear leader says they're getting them at school, which frankly, MAGAs should be embarrassingly, obviously stupid. And the fact that you all cling to believing this guy is really, at this point, it should be humiliating. I mean, as soon as "they're eating the dogs" came out, you should have been like, okay, that's it. Really no longer want to associate to the people who believe that kind of crap. But anyway, I digress. Really what got people off their lazy boys was this outrage that, oh my gosh, genders are changing. That's simple enough. I understand a man and I understand a woman. And now they're going to go mess that up too, all those smarty pantsy liberals. And they figured, well, if it's 1% of the population, they're not going to be able to fight back. So even I could go in there and act like a jerk and bully a trans person from afar, behind my keyboard. But think about that, folks. The number of things that have changed in our country, the amount of rights that have been taken, all of the indicators that we are marching towards a dictatorship, that these people are going to just gut the government as we know it, that they are definitely going to go after a national abortion ban. And after that, they're going to come after a lot of things. Like, we never thought we would get this far. We never thought that people would believe they're eating the dogs and that, 10-year-olds would be forced to bear their rapist baby, and that women would be dying of sepsis in front of doctors for 20 hours. And those doctors would be like, yeah, I can't go to jail, so I can't save her life. We never thought we'd be here. We never did. But here we are. And the reason is because people who wanted to be angry and to have an enemy and who were too stupid to tell the truth from complete fabrications from people who were trying to manipulate them, believed this big fat lie that trans people were going to come and mess things up and were going to screw up their children. And even when they were told this is 1% of the population, 1%, they didn't care. And even when they were told doctors overwhelmingly across the country, people who have studied, made this their careers, people who have studied gender, who know all about this, have said that gender affirming care is the best bet for these people. The MAGAs were like, yeah, but I'm not giving up my political fucking football. I don't care if you want me to treat them like humans. I'm not going to do that because this is really fun, tossing them around, making fun of them, because this is what I understand. Because all I grew up with was people making fun of other people, and that was how the hierarchy worked. And then all these smarty pants liberals came in and made it based on merit, and that just sucked for us. So, we're just going to get back to teasing people like we're back in third grade. And there is going to come a day, if Trump wins, and we're going to look back and we're going to say that particular electorate that voted in that election marked the end of this democratic experiment. We're going to be able to trace that, and we're going to know who voted. And we're going to know that the reason they voted for this awful, moronic, predatorial man was that they didn't like trans people. So anywho, Jamie Shirk 1162, gosh, I really feel for you. I know this trans thing is very scary, and it really seems like it's the right thing to do, to throw away your rights and your daughter's rights and your granddaughter's rights and, a whole lot of other people's rights just because you didn't like this whole issue. Yeah. Anywho, have the day that you deserve. Alrighty, thanks.